Yeah, good night, Marcia. I was watching the whole entire time.
You were. At Miss McLean, I told her, come in, Miss McLean, this is your thing. We have about 15 minutes to chat before we move to the next segment. But Theirry, when you watch this as a young man, this is something being done by 15 guys. What are your thoughts?
It's inspirational. I firmly believe that, as I said with regards to the presentation I made about community governance, this is an integral part of it, and it brings persons together. And not only that, it shows that, well, if you know you're lacking an item, and I say item in particular, vegetable, you can go and pick it, and it's not an issue. Like, it just brings persons together, and I really love to see it, and I would love that you would get back to this in Barbados. Not only that, it helps to reduce costs of buying certain essential, you see, as I said before, vegetables, and even a situation whereby it may be that, as the gentleman said, it could be a business venture, and then persons pull away from the land, and then they
Yeah.
actually go and sell it, and then that can be, residual income coming in. So I love to see things like this. Is what we need happening across the country, not only in the we so-called blocks or hoods of our Barbados or the lower income areas. But this is amazing. It's fantastic. And as I said before, there are other communities that, instead of actually growing food, they bring stuff and they create a pot and everybody gets something to eat. So we just gotta get back to this brotherly sisterly love in Barbados. So I love to see it.
Because one of the things that they said to me was how the teachers they brought the children, brought a group of the children to see the crops, and then they said to them they want the guys, some of those 15 guys, to come now and to teach the children in the school, how to set up a garden in the school. What are your thoughts on that theory?
I love it. I absolutely love it. And the thing about it is that we have persons in the older generation and also in the middle section of the age groups who are set in their ways. They grew up under the revolution of Arabaro and, pertaining to higher education, and they forgot our roots when it comes to growing stuff. So in terms of saving Barbados, it's the youth, it's the very, very young persons who are going to need to make this a part of their culture, not our culture, looking at the persons who are 20 or older. But I'm speaking about the very, very young ones. This has to be something that's integral, a part of them. And I love what they're doing. I want that they get through with what they wish to do in terms of the schools. And I would love that it's just spread across Barbados, because at the end of the day, the future of Barbados is up to the youth. Yeah, I'm not saying that the older persons are not important. I'm just saying, if we're going to save our country, we need to change the mindset of, well, I am this person in this profession, and I don't want to touch grass, or I don't want to touch the ground. We need to get out of that mindset. So it's up to the young persons and anybody who is older to hone that love of the land back into our people. Two things. I think they should potentially grow crops with respect to ginger. What the benefits of ginger. If it potentially could grow some turmeric, so that we can have those kind of crops that can help with the health issues that persons have. Another thing too is that something that's a staple in Barbados is flour, and we saw what happened with Ukraine. And because Ukraine was going through those issues, the price of flour went up, and it was very difficult to get the flour here, because, as most persons will know, and who don't know, is Ukraine is I'm not sorry, the major producer of flour in the world, but one of the major producers. So, in my opinion, I firmly believe that even if it's a situation where persons grow bean crops, then grind those beans up and potentially make their own flour, that can help reduce the flour imports. So these are the type of things that we can look at. And I just hope that it continues and basically it spreads across Barbados. Can't see Marcia.
Comment. And I see your message here, Kamar. I'm going to get back to this, Kamar. Very important what you have there. Go ahead, Theory.
Thank you, Marcia. What I sent in the WhatsApp chat to you is that right now in Honduras, this is actually happening. Rachel Ray says it's already happened. So there's a section of Honduras, and I watched a documentary a little while ago, and persons who are part of the Garifuna community,
Yes.
who know what the Garifuna people are, they were moved. They were moved from their area so that they can be a private city, or we could say a kind of a sort of city that was built for these high net worth persons. So when the apostle, and I know that he's comfortable with me calling him the apostle, spoke about Spike Stone, and we were speaking about what's happening in Nevis. These are things that are planned ahead of time, and these persons do
Yes.
not care about the natural order of communities or even that of the natives that live there. So I don't know if you have a chance to show that at some point in time, but this is something that's occurring consistently, and we need to fight back. If you are in a country and your country is to the size of St. Kitts, you have to be very selective about who you sell land to, right? You don't have that much to work with. So when we have these kind of conversations about them selling 4 square miles of their land, that's concerning to me. I don't even live there, right? And we look at the capacity that they're looking to do with the whole Destiny project, that's concerning to me because at the end of the day, yes, he's saying that, or not even I say he, I mean the person who's doing the Destiny project, he's saying that that land is not used when you look at the south, but it doesn't mean that it cannot be used and it cannot be used by natives who may necessarily go and do some business and then come and say, I
Correct.
want to repatriate my country. So just to give it to a foreigner, I am very concerned because when I heard his accent, I thought about something that most persons, not most persons, but a lot of persons don't know. And I'm just going to ask a general question. Did y'all know that Norway had a colony? Did y'all know that? That the Norwegians had a colony? Anybody know that?
What you
Knew
mean?
that?
I mean, inside Norway?
No, 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 no. So Norway and Denmark had certain islands in the Caribbean.
Oh
Norway
yeah,
had that
yeah,
first,
Oh,
and then
okay.
yeah.
they
Oh,
said,
definitely the Dutch. Yeah.
right. So when that happens and I'm seeing these things, I'm just telling myself, are we going back to the past? Are we going to a period whereby we want to reignite that kind of colonial dominance? So it's concerning to me. And I don't know about the persons who live there, but us here in Barbados, and I'm hearing it from regular persons that they're pushing us into the center. And I'm not
Right.
hearing that just only from the persons who are, up there in the
Okay.
high intellectual spaces. But I'm hearing that from everyday Bajans. They feel like we're going to be pushed right in this into the center, and it's concerning.
Response of the people. Why do you think they responded that way? What does their response say to you?
I think I agree with the apostle when he said about the boldness, but I also think, when you say something and it's like, well, that's not what's actually happening, and people start to laugh because, well, it's not funny, but what else can you do but laugh, right? So, one, it was that the premise was there, but also that, you know, if I say, okay, we have $1 million, but we don't actually have $1 million, right? So that's just it, Yeah, you see,
Mm.
the apostle Snickers. So it's just like that, persons. They
So
don't know.
people are agreeing. So you're saying that it's not that they're laughing not just because they're shocked, but they're also agreeing.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
that, that,
They're
that
agreeing.
things are not good in
Well,
Barbados.